Alright, so now we'll work the last page, page 22. We'll start with number 11. Alright, so number 11 says, what is the solution of x in the solution of the system of equations, or in the solution to the system of equations below? Alright, so once again, if we can be lazy about it, let's be lazy about it. In this one, they are only asking me for my x value. So that means that whenever I eliminate something, I want to try to get my y values to cancel out. If they cancel out, then I'm only left with x, and then it's just like an easy 1 or 2 step problem. Right, so if I look at my equations, if I can get the y's to cancel, I should try to get them to cancel, which actually I don't even have to do very much. If I have a minus y and I have a plus y, these are going to cancel each other out. So I can actually go through and add them together. Positive y, negative y, those are going to cancel each other out, or create a zero pair, in other words, mathematical words. On this one we have 8x plus negative 5, which is going to give me 3x. And then we have 20 plus negative 8, which is going to give me 12. So I'm left with the equation 3x equals 12, which I can all solve in one step. Divide everything by 3. I get that x is equal to 4. And that's it. Right, I don't have to do anything else. They asked me for my value of x. I gave them the value of x, and that's it. Alright, number 12. These are probably some of my favorite equations as well. The coins ones. Just because they're so easy once you get the hang of them. Alright, so we have Olaf has 35 coins in dimes and quarters, totaling $4.25. Write a system of equation to represent the number of dimes and quarters that Olaf has. So notice that it does not say solve anywhere on this. So all we have to do is just set it up. Or in other words, all we have to do is just write the system. And then that's it. We're not going to solve. Alright, so really I'm only given 2 bits of information. That we have 35 coins and that we have $4.25. Right, but that should be enough to create my system. Alright, one equation is going to be set up like this. Coins plus coins equals my total coins. My other equation is going to be money plus money equals my total money. Right? Pretty easy setup. Before we go any further, obviously we're talking about dimes and quarters. Let's go ahead and label our variables. With dimes, or D in this case, is going to represent the number of dimes. Q is going to represent the number of quarters. Alright, and just one other quick bit of information is that dimes are worth 10 cents. We would write that as 0.10, and quarters are worth 25 cents. We would write that as 0.25. Okay, and again, that's just something that you need to know. They're never going to tell you that in the coins problems. You have to know how much each of these are worth and how to write them. Alright, so we start with the coins. My total number of coins is going to be 35. Right, I have 35 coins total. And the 2 types of coins that I'm talking about are going to be dimes and quarters. So we have D plus Q equals 35. Okay, that first equation is pretty easy. My second equation is going to be with my money. So I'm going to start at the end over here. I'm going to start with the total. My total money is $4.25. Now, with the dimes and the quarters, now I'm going to assign the value to each of these because now we're talking about money, right? So I'm going to put that and that into my equation. So 10 cents per dime, so I'm going to write that as 0.10 D, plus 25 cents per quarter, so 0.25 Q. Now I have money plus money equals my total money, and that is my second equation. Alright, so I'm able to set up my system. D plus Q equals 35, and 0.10D plus 0.25Q equals 4.25. Alright, setting up my system. Right, underneath that we have number 13. 13 says Mary ordered lunch for herself and several coworkers on Monday and Tuesday. On Monday she paid $7 for 5 sandwiches and 4 sodas. On Tuesday she paid $6 for 4 of each. Find the price of sandwich, find the price of a soda. Alright, so obviously at the end it tells me what to find. Find the price of sandwich and the price of soda. Alright, so my two unknowns are going to be sandwiches and sodas. So since they both start with an S, I'm not going to use S for both. I'm going to use W for sandwich, and I'm going to use, I guess, S for soda. So I'm going to go ahead and label my variables. W is going to represent the price or the cost of sandwich. And S is going to represent the price of soda. Okay, so W and S are my variables. Alright, next we write down our system. Two different equations. Our two equations here are going to be based on the days, Monday and Tuesday. So on Monday, she spends $7 and she buys 5 sandwiches and 4 sodas. So this is going to be 5 sandwiches, so 5W, plus 4 sodas, 4S, equals $7. On Tuesday, she's going to pay $6 for 4 of each, so 4 sandwiches and 4 sodas. So that's going to be 4W plus 4S equals $6. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and solve our system. I'm going to go ahead and do it the long way, just to show you guys that we can still, if we don't have another option, you can still do the long way. I'm going to put the 4 up in front on this one. I'm going to put the 5 in front of this one, and I'm going to change the sign of one of them. It doesn't matter which one you change the sign of, just have to make sure that you change the sign of one. So I'm going to make the 5 into a negative. Okay. Now we just multiply. 4 times 5 is going to give me 20W. 4 times 4S is going to give me plus 16S. And then 4 times 7 is going to give me 28. Once I'm done distributing, I'm going to go ahead and draw a line through that top equation. And then we go down to the bottom. Negative 5 times 4W is going to give me negative 20W. Negative 5 times 4S is going to give me negative 20S. And then negative 5 times 6 is going to give me negative 30. Alright, and then once I'm done distributing, I'm going to go ahead and draw the line through that. Great, now I can go through and I can add these together. Positive 20W and negative 20W, these are going to create a 0 pair. 16 plus negative 20 is going to give me negative 4S. And then 28 plus negative 30 is going to give me negative 2. And now from here to get the S by itself, it's just one step. Divide everything by negative 4. I'm going to get that S or sodas are worth negative 2 divided by negative 4 is going to give me 0.5. Or in other words, if we're talking about money, technically 50 cents. So each soda costs 50 cents. So soda costs 50 cents. It's part of my solution. Alright, then I take the 50 cents, I plug it back into one of the 2 original equations. I'm just going to go and rewrite the first one. 5W plus 4S equals 7. If I plug in the 50 cents for the S, so that's going to become 5W plus 4 times 0.50 equal to 7. 4 times 50 is going to give me 2. And of course, once you finish that step, once you distribute or once you multiply here, then you solve. So I'm going to box in my variable, which is going to be the 5w. To get rid of plus 2, or to move plus 2 to the other side, I'm going to do minus 2. 7 minus 2 is going to give me 5. And then the 5w is going to come down. Alright, to get the w completely by itself, I'm going to divide everything by 5. And so I get that w is equal to 1. Or in other words, sandwiches cost $1. Alright, and that is my solution to my system, is that sodas cost 50 cents, sandwiches cost $1. Alright, we go down to the very last one. Alright, so we have 14. Victor has twice as much money as Fred. Together they have $96. Which system of equations below would determine the amount of money Victor V and Fred F each have? Alright, so we're going to go and start with that first equation. Victor has twice as much money as Fred. So this word here, twice, means times 2. Okay? So let's see if we can kind of work this out. These are always worked backwards. So if Victor has twice as much money as Fred, you would think that the equation would be 2v equals f. But instead, what this means, if Victor has twice as much money as Fred, let's say Fred has $5. To figure out how much Victor has, you would take that 5, you would multiply it by 2, and whatever number you get, that's how much money the other guy would have. So our equation here is actually going to be Fred's money times 2, we can write that as 2f, is going to give me Victor's amount. So we have 2f equals v, or Victor's money is twice as much money as Fred's. So that's the first equation. The second equation says together they have $96. This one's pretty easy. So if together they have $96, the total is 96. And then the two parts are obviously Victor's money and Fred's money. So we have v plus f equals 96. This one's set up for substitution. If you wanted to solve it for substitution, v is by itself. So I would plug in 2f in for v, and then I would solve. Right? So if you had to justify why would you use substitution for this, you would say something like v is by itself, or y or x or whatever letter it is by itself, so I can plug that in. I can use substitution. But this is set up for substitution. Nowhere on here does it say solve, so as long as I set this up, I am done. Alright guys, hopefully you guys do well on your test tomorrow. Again, try to make sure that you're reading the questions. If it doesn't say solve, don't solve. And then just make sure that you are, if we go back, make sure that you're looking to see if some of these cancel. If they do, just immediately cancel them out. Don't immediately go into the multiplication. See if they cancel out first, and then go into the multiplication.